right, so go ahead and find a comfortable seat, either cross-legged or in hero on your shins, using any props at any time. And then before you settle into your seat, just inhale, lift your arms overhead. And just reaching alternately the arms up overhead, grabbing a piece of blue sky to bring onto your mat with you. Good. Lengthening both sides, breathing softly. And then reach both arms up, closing the eyes. And as you exhale, take your arms down the sides, let the fingertips ground into the earth, taking anything with you that's around you, within you, letting that you don't need right now, and let it drop into the earth through the fingertips. Allowing yourself to become somewhat empty, your body being a container for your bones and muscles, organs, tissues, body fluids, and your breath. And then tuning into the body, notice whether you're feeling very light and can't really rest. And you can place the palms of your hands onto your knees or thighs. Or if you're feeling rather heavy and you're already grounded, you can place the insides of the palms towards the sky. So let your body already here decide for you which body pose to take. Allow the legs to become heavier, grounding you a little bit more into the earth. And allow the spine to be upright and tall, the neck is long, the chin is very slightly tucked. Rest your shoulder blades, rest the thoughts. Relax your face, the lips are soft, the eyebrows and the forehead. Allow your breath to come and go. Allow yourself to arrive more with every further breath. Allow your mind to wander. Let it be a sweet reminder that your brain is something that produces thoughts. Your goal is never to stop them. You can slow them down and notice them and pay a moment of attention to them, but no judging, no bad, no good. Just notice how the thought makes you feel. And then feel the feeling and allow it to pass. It won't last forever. And come back to your breath. How is that moving in you today? And then notice how your torso expands with every further exhale. Inhale, your chest expands, the ribs and your belly. And then as you exhale softly, the belly calms, the ribs flatten, and the chest. The inhale expands the whole torso. And the exhale flattens. Lovely. And let it go. Keep the eyes closed, and as you inhale, bring your arms overhead. Palms touch gently. And exhale your hands to heart center. Inhale here fully. Completely out. And let's open the session with a sweet Om. Feel free to join. Inhale for a soft Om. Take a moment to make an intention for your today's practice, and that can be to dedicate it to either yourself or a special thing, place, or person. Just take a moment to visualize that which you want to dedicate your practice to in all its lively and vibrant colors. Lovely. And then let that image go. And look softly. Bring your hands into your lap and flatten your eyes open. And as you inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, twist towards your left. Right hand comes towards your right knee. Left fingertips behind you on the floor or block. Chin stays above your chest. One cycle of breath here. Inhale, tall in the spine. Exhale, the belly button moves towards your left. Bring the twist from the belly. On the inhale, lift back to center. Arms overhead into a V. Exhale, twist your right. Left hand to right knee, fingertips of the right hand behind you. One cycle of breath here. Grow tall on the inhale. And roll the belly button towards the right on the exhale. Good. And again, inhale back to center, arms overhead. Exhale, twist towards your left. Cycle of breath there. Following inhale, back to center, arms into V. Exhale, twist your right. Cycle of breath here. And one more time as you inhale to center. Exhale to your left. Cycle of breath there. Complete inhale. Full exhale. And one more time. Inhale to center. And twist towards your right. And an exhale here. And on your following inhale, bring it back to center. Lift your arms overhead one more time. And stay tall as you exhale. Take your arms down behind you. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll your shoulders down the spine. Keep the belly integrated. You're not banana backing, but lift the chest. Open up the top of the torso. Neck is soft. Roll your head gently from side to side. Breathe fully into your whole breath body from the clavicles all the way to the hip bones. Good. Head back to center. And then gently release your arms forward. Take your hands onto your knees and round into a cat pose. On the inhale, tilt the hips forward, bring your chest forward, roll the shoulders back as if your elbows want to touch behind you, and exhale, round backwards. Inhale, roll forward, bring your chest forward into a cow pose here, and exhale, round into cat pose. And again, inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, round. You can use your knees a little bit with your hands to round you a little bit more. Inhale, 2 more times. Rolling forward. Tilt the hips forward as well. And exhale, round fully. And one more time. Inhale forward. And exhale, round. Good. Come back to upright sitting. Lengthen out your right leg. Keep the left leg a little bit bent. Doesn't have to be all the way in. It can be anywhere along. Let there be space. Right? And then take your left hand behind you with the fingertips pointing away. And the right arm is parallel to your right leg. And we're going to come onto the left shin and the inside edge or the heel of the right foot. So as you inhale, draw a half circle with your right arm forward, lengthen, 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 lift your hips, bring the right shoulder above your left shoulder, lengthen the right side, reach your fingertips back diagonally, and as you exhale, sit back down. Arm comes back to parallel to your leg, and inhale, upwards again, take your time, move with your breath, use the whole breath to lift, and use the whole exhale to lower down, strong left hand, and inhale again, lift, lengthen your right side, exhale, sit down. Good. 2 more like this in your own time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, down and open. Good. 1 more time. Inhale, lift there. And as you exhale, down towards the floor. Lovely. And then change your legs. Bend your right leg, straighten out the left leg. Take your right hand behind you, fingertips pointing away. And then your left arm parallel to your left leg. And as you inhale, draw a big half circle forward and then over to the side. Reach back with the left fingertips. Your right shoulder is underneath your left. And then exhale down again. Open up. Inhale, lift in your own time, moving with your breath. So your exhale grounds you down. And the inhale lifts you up. Beautiful. Use the whole length of the breath to come into your expression of this opening. Two more times in your own breath. Good. And take 1 more round. And then come to sit again. Lovely. And cross your legs over and roll over your knees to come into all fours. Or take your legs to the side and come into all fours via the side. Finding your hands on the shoulders, knees, hips distance or wider. And then as you inhale, let your belly button drop and the chest drop. Look up ahead, let the shoulder blades almost touch. And as you exhale, tilt the hips, a rounding wave motion into cat pose. Inhale, lengthen the front. Exhale, tilt the hips first, wave into your cat pose. Let the head hang heavy. Inhale, open the front. Exhale, rounding. Close your eyes. Allow your internal gaze to come into the spine. Watch the vertebra as they move. Maybe as you move slowly in this motion, in this manner, you can detect some vertebra that work together. It's very neutral, very common for most vertebra. There's always 2 or 3 working together, and sometimes when we do these movements a little slower, we can detect them. Breathe fully, just 2 more rounds here in your own time. Let the head just come along. Doesn't have to hold. Just let it roll back and forth. Good. And then coming back to your neutral spine. Good. And we'll do some wrist strengthening here. So as you inhale, turn your fingertips on one hand towards yourself and then the other one. And then turn them back forward. All right, and keep doing that, walking back and forth. And always putting your weight into the hand that you're just putting onto the floor. Lovely. Just 2 more times there. And then the next time our fingertips point towards you, stay there. Good. And then move your chest and your whole upper body a little bit forward, over to the right. And then your hips backwards. Be careful with your wrists and forearms over to the left and forward. So just circling the chest, kind of the whole upper body, to open up the wrists a little bit more. So that can be oxygen and more blood flow in your wrists. Keep the face relaxed, the jaw soft, and the breath is just coming and going. I'm going to change directions, a few circles the other way. Make sure your neck is soft and the shoulder blades are just sitting there on the back, not cramping. Good, and then becoming smaller in those circles and come back to center. And then from here, move your hips gently further back as far as it's comfortable. Don't overdo it, but don't stay in the comfort zone, right? Just step outside a tiny, minute little bit. I'm going to breathe into the forearms, into your wrists. Keep the belly soft and the neck. Good, one more breath. And then release back forward. Release your forearms onto the floor. Actually, no, let's do the counter pose. So put the back of the hand on the floor with the fingertips towards the center. And then the other hand there too. So your weight is in the backwards. And then once you've placed your hands, bring the hips back forward. Your elbows can stay bent depending on your muscle situation. And then bring your weight forward as far as it's comfortable. It feels quite uncomfortable, but it's fine. You're not going to break your hands. Keep breathing and keep the neck soft. Notice if you're tensing anywhere else, that's not necessary. Your lower back or anywhere, right? You can also rotate your hips gently here to make sure they're not tensing up. Just tiny movements. Good. 2 more cycles of breath here. And then slowly bring the hips back over your heels. Place your forearms and the hands on the floor in front of you. And come into a child's pose. Your legs apart or together. Lower the forehead on the floor. And just drum your fingers on the floor, the 4 fingers. Maybe pump your hands just a few times. And then let them rest again. And just notice the pulsations, vibrations in the wrists. Maybe they feel really big now. Good. And then activate your upper body again. Lift it up, bring it back into all fours. And take your hands just a hand's distance further forward. Good. And then from here, tuck your toes. Lift your knees off the floor. Let them hover. Inhale here. And then bring your hips back over your heels. Neutral spine there. Keep lifting the hips as if you're tilting your hips forward so the hip bones lift towards the sky and the knees are still bent. Lengthen your spine on the inhale here. Make sure your hands are fully working and they're a foundation. Good. And then from here, lift your hips gently into your first down dog. Knees can stay bent. They don't have to be straight at all. As long as your spine stays in a neutral length, your knees can be bent. And then work your hips from side to side. Bend your knees alternately. Find your dog here today in your body. Can feel different than the other day. Just notice those differences. They're amazing. They tell you something about yourself. Listen. Your body has a beautiful story to tell every day, all day. We just have to remind ourselves to
Continuously listen to it. And then bring your hips back into center. Find your foundation in hands and feet here. And keep lifting through the forearms, into the shoulders and into the hips. And then as you inhale, roll forward into a plank pose, shoulders above your hands. Stay here. Strong middle, and then as you exhale, only bend your knees so that they hover above the floor. You're not lowering them down. Stay here. Find your core, find the center. One more in-breath. And then lengthen your legs again. Inhale here. And this time, as you exhale, lower the knees down. Bring the chest in between your hands. Inhale into your Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Long spine. Reach your chest forward. Maybe lift the hands off the floor. And then bring the hands back to the floor. Tuck your toes. Press your knees and hands into the floor. Lift your hips first, back over your heels and up into your down dog safely. Find the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Following inhale, lift your right leg up into the sky. Bend your right leg, bring the right hip on top of the right hip. Left hip. Inhale, find more lifting and lightness. Shoulders stay parallel to the floor. One more in-breath. And as you exhale, bring the hips back parallel. Bring your right knee into your chest. Roll forward, plank. And let your right foot land behind your right hand. If it doesn't get there, bring the hand. Lower the left knee. Inhale, lift up into low lunge. Arms overhead. Bring your hips only as far forward as is comfortable. Good. And as you exhale, twist your right, bend your elbows into cactus. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend to your right. Twist to your right. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist. One more time. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist to your right. Stay here. Lengthen your arms out like a T. Take your right hand onto your sacrum, fingertips towards the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm. As you exhale, bring that left upper arm outside your right side. All right, gentle, intense twist here. Make sure your right foot is fully grounded. Inhale to your long spine. And as you exhale, roll the right shoulder down the spine, open the chest gently more. And you can also use the thigh and the upper arm pressing softly towards each other. And breathe fully into your belly, massaging your organs. If you need more intensity here, you can also tuck your left toes and lift your back knee off the floor. Only an option though, right? For a few breaths, if you like. And then one more full inhale here. And you're following inhale, release, drop the knee back down if it's lifted, and back to center, both arms overhead. And as you exhale, hands down, left hand stays on the floor, right arm lifts, inhale into that twist, open your chest towards the sky. And exhale, both hands to the floor, step back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Vinyasa if you like. Inhale, roll into plank. Bring in that core little thing, just bending your knees, hovering above the floor. And then straighten those legs again. Inhale, plank. As you exhale, knees, chest, chin, or plank down if your body is ready. Inhale, Bhujangasana, or your up dog version, the safe way, the long spine. And then exhale safely back into your down dog. Find the breath. Shake your head, maybe roll the shoulders. Foundation in hands and feet. Notice. Good. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up into the sky. Bend your left leg, bring the left hip on top of the right. Right knee can stay bent. Find more lifting on inhale. Keep the shoulders parallel to the floor. One more in breath. And as you exhale, square the hips. Bring the left knee into your chest. Roll forward. Let the left foot land behind your left hand. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, twist towards your left, cactus arms. Lovely. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist left, cactus arms. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Two more like this. Exhale, twist. And one more full round to center. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Stay to the side. Take your arms into a T, palms towards the floor. And take your left hand onto your sacrum, fingertips pointing down towards the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up, lengthen the right side, and exhale the right elbow outside your left thigh. Fingertips come point towards the left side. The whole left sole of the foot is rounded. And then inhale into your long spine. And roll the left shoulder down the spine, open the chest. As the exhale. Breathing fully into the belly here. Organ massage. And feel free, if it's in your body, to tuck your right toes and maybe lift the back knee off the floor. Good. Notice if you can still breathe fully, or if you've stepped over the leg. Good. One more breath there. And if your knee is lifted, either lower it back down first or come back to center and then lower the knee. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, bow down forward. Right hand stays on the floor, left arm lifts. Inhale, open your chest there. And as you exhale, step back into your down dog. Vinyasa if you choose. Inhale, roll forward. Just bending your knees to hover. Cycle of breath. Notice the middle core and the back muscles working. And then straighten your knees. Inhale in your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, or plank down. Inhale, Bhujangasana, or safely up dog. And then exhale into your Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Find the breath. In through the nose, fully all the way up into the hips. Let the out breath roll down the backs of the legs. Good. Following inhale, lift your right leg up. Bend your right leg, bring the right hip on top of the left hip. Just one in breath here. And as you exhale, square the hips. Bring the right knee forward into plank. Let the right foot land. Good. And then lower the back heel down for warrior 2 feet. And as you inhale, lift your arms up into your warrior 2 here. Good. So check, you can see your right big toe, right knee is on top of the right heel. Lovely. Your outside, the left foot outside is pressing into the floor. And reach your arms out, look over your right palm. Inhale here. Scissor the feet together towards the center of the mat. Good. Lower the back hand down to your left thigh. Flip the front palm. Stay stable in the legs. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Lengthen the right side. And then check in with your neck. Do you want to look up towards that hand? Or maybe just to your side or to your left foot on the floor. 2 more cycles of breath. Good. When you're following, inhale, bring it back to your warrior 2. And then take your right forearm onto your right thigh and bring your left arm overhead. Lengthen the left side. Side angle stretch here. Good. Still breathing into both sides of your upper body. Don't collapse on the right side. Turn the little pinky in on the left hand to roll the shoulder blade gently down the spine. Good. One more in breath. And
On your following inhale, windmill back up to warrior two. And as you exhale, windmill back down into your downward facing dog. Plant the hands, step the right leg back. Vinyasa, if you choose, rolling forward. Bring in the little core work, bend your knees to hover. Cycle of breath there. And then straighten those knees again. And as you exhale, knees, chest, chin, or plank down. Inhale, your opening. And exhale, safely back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Find the breath. Good. Shake your head, roll the shoulders. On the following inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bending your knees. Bring the left hip on top of the right hip. One big inhale. And as you exhale, square the hips, bring the left knee into your chest, roll forward, let the left foot land. Turn down the right heel for warrior two, feet here. And then inhale, windmill your arms up, warrior two to the other side. Can you see your left big toe? Left knee is on top of the left heel. Ground to the outside edge of your right foot. Find your shoulders on top of your hips. And reach your arms out. And scissor the feet together towards the center of your mat. Strong warrior two, but soft. Good. And then lower your right hand onto your right thigh. Flip your left palm. Inhale, lift the fingertips up. Stay strong in the legs and notice in your neck where your gaze would like to have your look. And show your body some love that will love you back. Even with these little things to make the neck comfortable. Good, one more full inhale, lengthen more. And as you exhale, back through warrior two and take your left forearm onto your left thigh. Reach your right arm overhead. Lengthen your right side. Turn the right little pinky in. Notice how that rolls your shoulder blades. The right shoulder blade down the spine a little bit more. And that gives you more space in your neck area there. Breathe into both sides of your upper body. Don't collapse on the left side. Keep lifting. Good. One more lengthening in breath. And as you exhale, bring it back to warrior two. Inhale there. And your final exhale, windmill your arms either side of your left foot. Step back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Vinyasa, if you choose, or just stay in down dog or come into a child's pose. All right, love your body. If you're Vinyasa, let's add that little core thing by bending your knees, just hovering. If you like, you can also just go for your Vinyasa and we'll meet back in down dog. And then inhale in your plank. Good. Lovely, shake your head, roll the shoulders. Good. And then from here, bend your knees, look up to your hands, and take a few steps to come forward. And coming into yogi squat, so your toes are out almost off the mat, your heels are in. And then bend your knees, track them over your toes, coming into malasana. If you need to use any props underneath the hip bones, please do. All right? Show your body some love. Good, and then take your upper arms inside your knees, your thighs, and use a little bit of opposing pressure of your upper arms into your knees and the knees and thighs into your upper arms. That's a strengthening opening. Lifting the chest gently, shoulder blades are soft, toes the neck and your jaw. Soften your face. Pull up the corners of your mouth. Give yourself a smile. Notice the soles of your feet. Are they fully grounded, or do you seem to be collapsing in or out? Try to use both or all four corners of the soles of the feet. Lovely. And then from here, decide or let your body decide, do you want to come up through the strength of your thighs from a squat just to come into standing, or do you want to go through a forward fold from there? All right, and then so next inhale comes, lift yourself up either through the squat or lift your hips first and then come through a forward fold. Lovely. Heel toe your feet to hips distance. Inhale, lift your arms up. Stay tall. Exhale, bend your elbows back and down. Inhale, lift to center. One more time. Exhale, bend your elbows back and down. Inhale, long. And as you exhale, take your hands to your heart center. Soften the shoulders, soften your gaze. Find your drishti somewhere in front of you, something that doesn't move. Keeping the focus in the body. Just noticing the soles of your feet. Are your toes gripping? Are they just softly there? Lying there. We're using the soles of the feet. Let the toes just be there. They're not gripping. Lovely. And then from here, transition the weight into your left leg. Now your next inhale, lift your right thigh off the floor, bring it parallel to the floor. Pick the toes towards your knee as well. You have to pull them up. Activate it, the whole right leg. Keep the upper body upright, don't fall back or forward. You can have a minute bend in your left knee, that's fine, to stabilize. Good. Maybe that's your balancing pose here, depending on your day, on your time of the day. Notice what your body allows you to go for today. If you like a little bit more balancing challenge, then inhale your right leg straight forward. Just one round. As you exhale, bend your right leg, bring it back into space, upper body hovers forward. Just touching warrior three. On your inhale again, bring it back forward. Lift your upper body, straighten out the right leg. Exhale, bend your right leg, bring it behind your left leg, step it a little bit off the mat, and then bend both knees into a little courtesy. So the right leg's behind, good. And then inhale, lift your right thigh up. And then this time as you exhale into warrior three, right leg comes back, upper body forward, reach the right heel back, crown of the head and chest reaches forward. Any arm variation for your warrior three here. Stay strong in your left leg. Use the sole of the foot, not the toes. One more inhale. And then bend your left leg, land with the right leg in the back of the mat into a lunge. Good, so your left knee is on top of your left heel. The back heel is lifted and engaged. Bend your left leg a little bit more. Take your arms beside you with the palms facing forward. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to reverse the lunge. So your right leg bends, almost touching the floor. And then your left leg straightens. And inhale it back to your lunge. Bend your front leg, straighten the back leg. Exhale, bend the back leg, straighten the front leg. Bring the upper body slightly with you. Inhale, back to lunge. Exhale, reverse. Embrace the wobbles. Use your hands anywhere they serve you, on your hips or prayer pose. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, reverse. Two more times. Inhale, use your breath to make it easier. Exhale, reverse. One more round as you inhale, bend the front, straighten the back. Exhale, reverse it. And this time that you inhale through the front lunge, straighten both legs, lift your arms. And as you exhale, bow down forward. Bend your left leg for now.
Putting your hands either onto the mat or onto blocks if the floor is too far away. Bring your back leg a little bit closer, but keep the toes pointing forward, right? And your back heel doesn't have to be on the floor, it can be bent. Or keep a very minute bend in your knees, don't ever lock them, please. And then from here, straighten your spine, reach your chest forward, and move your left hip back in space. So opening the left hip, glute, and back of the leg. Yeah, use your blocks, go big bend. Lovely, so the neck is soft, shoulder blades too. Not actively, it's not a motion I can see, but energetically move the left hip. Keep reaching it gently more back. And keep reaching that right heel towards the floor. Reaching the chest forward. Breathing softly and fully. Enjoying the breath. 2 more cycles of breath here. Good. And then keep the blocks, but remove them a little bit to the side. Bend your left leg more, plant your hands, and step back gently into your down dog. Notice the 2 sides. One seems to be more vibrant, maybe. Normal pulsation. And either stay here if you like, or go for a vinyasa. We'll meet back in down dog in your own time. Feel free to add the core thing in the vinyasa. Good. Notice your foundation in your dog, hands and feet. And then gently bend your knees, look up between your hands, and take a few steps to come to the top of your mat into a forward fold this time. So your feet are hips distance, toes track forward, and let your upper body hang. Bend your knees any amount that you need to, and take any arm variation that serves your forward fold. So you can grab opposite elbows. If that's what you always do, maybe change it to taking your arms behind your calves. But whatever you do, let your head hang. You can also just have the arms hang. Make sure your head is soft, like a dangle. Maybe swing it so that you know that your neck is soft. Breathe fully all the way into the belly. Notice maybe how your breath also makes your whole body swing, right? You're not stable, kind of where you are stable, but you're rocking kind of forward, back, maybe on the soles of your feet. Good, and then let all that go, release your arms, let them just hang, let your head hang, and very slowly begin to roll up. Let there be a little impulse from the belly button towards the bottom of your spine, and then slowly from there, vertebra by vertebra, rolling up into standing. Letting the arms and the head be the last thing to come up. Good. Lovely. Inhale, lift your arms up. Palms touch, stay tall. Exhale, bend your elbows back and down. One more time. Inhale, become taller. Stay tall. Exhale, bend your elbows back. Good. Inhale, lift.
And next time that you exhale, take your hands to heart center. Soften the shoulders on top of your hips. Find the breath. Find your drishti. Notice the soles of your feet. Toes are soft. And then transition the weight into your right leg. And as you inhale, lift your left thigh parallel to the floor. Up. Pull the toes to that knee. Keep the upper body upright. Keep the breath flowing. And maybe that's your balance on this side. Or maybe take it into a challenge by straightening the left leg out, just one round. Exhale, bend your left leg backwards, bring it back, upper body forwards, just touching warrior three. And inhale again, lift the upper body, left leg slowly forward. Exhale, bend your left leg, bring it behind your right leg, step it a little bit off the mat, bend your knees courtesy here. Inhale, lift, left leg back forward, straighten it out. And then exhale into your warrior three. Reach your left leg back, heel reaches back, hips stay parallel to the floor. Find your expression of warrior three here, any arm variation. Reaching forward and back, sense that opposing movement of the upper body and the lower body. Ground through your right leg. Good, one more inhale. And then bend your right leg, land to the back third of the mat with the left foot into your lunge. The right knee is on top of your right heel. The back heel is elevated. Find your strong lunge here. Inhale. And as you exhale, reverse the lunge. So bend your back leg as to hover and straighten the front leg. Bring the upper body gently forward. Inhale, back to your lunge. Bend your front leg straight to the back. Exhale, reverse. Take any arm variation that serves your pose. Inhale, forward. Exhale, reversing. Inhale, forward. Exhale, reverse. Good, stay with the breath. Embrace the wobbles. Good, one more round here. Exhale, reversing. And then back into your lunge. Stay front, straighten both legs, lift your arms up. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee gently a little bit more again. And bring your hands either on blocks or the floor, left or right of your right foot. Shorten your stance gently if you need to. If your legs are shorter, like mine. And then you don't have to ground the heel of the back foot. You can reach the heel towards the floor gently, but have the toes tracking forward to the top of your mat. And then reach your right hip back in space. Reach your chest forward. Reach the back heel down and find your breath here. Find serenity. Keep energetically moving the right hip back in space. Enjoy that opening in the right outer hip and the back of the right leg, depending on your situation there. And notice if you're tensing in the back, right, the lower back, it doesn't have to tense. Try to release it. Because sometimes as you're feeling like your butt cheeks are pressing together because it wants to hold on and help you, don't need to do that. But the legs there, if they are holding us. A few more breaths here, long spine forward. Keep the whole right foot grounded. Lovely. And then bending your right leg again. Release your blocks to the side and step it back into your down dog.
You choose if you want to stay here, come for Balasana, Child's Pose, or one last Vinyasa if you like. Bring in that core situation if you like. And we'll meet back in down dog, whatever variation you took. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Open the hip one more time, bend your left leg, bring the left hip on top of the right. Keep the shoulders squared. Notice maybe if there's any difference now in how that feels. Maybe the hips are lighter, maybe they're heavier. That's fine. Right, whatever it is, embrace it. And then as you exhale, square the hips, bring the left knee forward, and let the left knee land behind your left hand. Lower the shin down, and slide your right foot back. Use any props underneath your left hip if you need to, right, for your sleeping pigeon. And then find your legs first here in the pose. And stay on your fingertips for now. Upper body is upright and tall. And just, if you're down, stay down, that's fine. And if you like, look over your right shoulder. Notice if your right foot is there behind you, or if your leg is crooked. And then change and look over your left shoulder if you can see maybe your right foot. And then bring back forward, lengthen up. And as you exhale, bow down. Any variation with your arms here on any props. Make sure your head can rest either on your hands or on a block. And let the hips become heavier. Let them ground towards the back of the mat. Let your shoulders rest. Release the bottom from the top jaw. Allow the breath to fully fill the torso all the way down into your belly, hips, and thighs. Allow yourself to let go more with every further exhale. Noticing what appears in your mind's eye, what feeling or thought or situation, maybe faces. Just notice how these things that appear make you feel without storying or making it good or bad. Just notice what the feeling is and how does that feel in the body. It will pass. Just notice right now, how does it make you feel? Don't usher it away. Let it be there. Be with the feeling. Notice if your jaw is tensing. Release it. Two more breaths. And gently begin to lift your head again, planting your hands back into down dog hands. Tuck your right toes and heel or toe knee the right leg forward. And then bring it back into your down dog one more time. And if you really want to, your body really needs to, go for a vinyasa. Right. Or just stay in your down dog for a few breaths. You're following inhale, lift your right leg up. And just bend that knee one more time, bring the right hip on top of the left hip, open up. Notice how high, how light or heavy that feels. And then as you exhale, bring that knee, bring the hip squared first, and then bring the knee into your chest, roll forward, and let the right knee come towards your right heel, the heel of the hand. Lower the shin down, and slide the left foot back, using any props underneath your right hip if you need to. And the more parallel your shin is towards the front of your mat, the more intense it is. So notice in yourself what's possible today. And then stay upright. If you're down already, go for it and breathe there. And then maybe look over your left shoulder. If you're still up, find your left foot. And then back to center and look over your right shoulder. Notice if you can see your left foot or if it's harder for you to see it on this side. And then back to center. Keep the length in your spine and upper body. And then bow forward. Either onto your forearms or onto props. Find your pigeon pose there. Make sure you can rest your head on hands or a block so your neck can soften. And then use your breath or allow your breath to help you to find your pose. Well, it can be different on this side compared to the other. Don't judge that. Just notice it. Embrace it. Hips are heavy towards the back. Shoulders are melting towards the ground. Allow the breath to fill your whole torso, all the way down into the hips and thighs. And again, noticing what comes up without judgment, no stories. Let the thought be a thought. The feeling is a feeling. And just notice how this makes you feel in the body. That which it is. And enjoy the fact that you are able to feel how this makes you feel or how this feels in the body. And many people aren't even able to notice that there is a feeling. Allowing the breath to be calm. Two more cycles of breath. Lovely. And then activate your head, slowly lift it. And activate your hands. Stay seated though. Just walk your hands towards yourself. Tuck your left toes. Slide that left leg gently forward. And remove anything that's underneath your right hip so that you can come to sit on that right hip. So you're going to come back onto that right hip.
Yeah, if you need a down dog between, that's fine, go for it. But then come back to that pigeon. So bring the right shin back in front. So come back to this pigeon thing, and then come to sit on your right hip. And from here, strengthen your left leg and bring it forward. Keep it lifted. And we're going to, because we've done so much hip stuff, we're now strengthening it a little bit. We're going to move the left leg back again, and your hands come forward. You just tuck in the toes there, and then a little press up, and then bring the left leg forward. So if that's not in your hip mobility, that's totally fine. You just stay maybe a little bit more in that pigeon, but just do a few movements of the leg back and forth. Notice how the hip is capable to do that. Good. Do it as fast or slow as feels good in the body. Good. Just a few more on this side. Keep breathing. Feel the heat, either in the hips or in your heart. All connected. And then the next time that your left leg is in front, keep it there. Left leg forward. And then lower the left leg down and straighten out the right leg. All right, so bring the left leg a little closer. And the right leg is in front. Check that you have enough space beside you. Good. And then we'll do this on the other side. So now your right leg is in front of you, and then move it back behind you. And a little press up here. Inhale, bring it forward. Exhale, backwards. And again, finding your breath and your speed here. Notice your hips. Maybe one side was easier or harder. Keep breathing fully. Don't shorten the breath. Again, noticing the heat that you're creating either in the hip or in the heart. Just a few more times there. Good. Lovely. And then the next time the right leg is behind you, keep it there. All right. Good. Plant your hands one more time. Lift your right leg and step back into this down dog. One last time. In your down dog, swaying your hips from side to side. Find that fluidity in the spine. Breathing fully in through the nose. Maybe out through the mouth. Good. And then lower your knees down towards the floor, back into all fours. And then bring your forearms onto the floor. Allow the hips to stay above your knees. If it's very late where you are, don't come in too deep. You won't be able to sleep. But then lower the belly button. Maybe your forehead comes to the floor, maybe onto a block. Right, big heart and shoulder open up. Notice how the back body wants to let go. Release your abdomen. Breathing fully into the lower belly and your lower back. Maybe even your chest comes to the floor. And if your chin wants to come to the floor, or you want to look forward and just notice if your neck allows you to go there, or if you're just doing it because it's a habit. Notice what the body is allowing you to do. Fully breathing in, completely letting it out. 2 more cycles of breath here. Anatasana.
And gently activating your hands and your forearms. Lift your head gently, maybe your chest, and then just kind of swings yourself forward onto your belly, moving slowly. You may feel a little fragile. And then create a little flow with your hands underneath your forehead. Rest your head there. And then just gently shake your hips from side to side. Breathe fully. Good. And from here, find a way to gently roll onto your back. Maybe lengthen out one arm and then roll over onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. Just hug them in. And rocking from side to side. Good. And then gently come to center. Lower the feet onto the floor where they are. And it's coming to jungle bridge. So bring your feet together so that the insides are touching. And then come onto the outside edges of your feet so that the soles of the feet are together. And allow your knees to drop out. Right, if that's too intense, it can be fine. We've done a bit of opening, so it'll be fine. And then place your elbows onto the floor. So your forearms next to your body, like robot arms, with the fingertips towards the sky. Good. So your legs and your arms are strong, and just press your upper arms into the floor so you can snuggle your shoulder blades under a little bit. So your chest lifts, and then keep the arms strong. And as you inhale, lift your hips gently. Let the spine musculature work. So don't tense your glutes too much. So there's a bit of tension there, of course. Soften them more, and then let the spine musculature work. Right, and the upper arms are pressing gently into the floor. And then if you like, sway from side to side. Jungle bridge here. Breathe fully. Big or small sways, whatever feels good. Good. 2 more breaths. Lovely. And then bring it back to center and slowly lower vertebra by vertebra back down to the floor. Release your arms, let the hands just rest on your belly, release the shoulder blades. Bring the knees back into center. Ground the soles of the feet. Bring your feet a little bit more out so that they're at the edges of your mat. Good, breathe fully. And then from here, lengthen out the right leg, right foot into the right corner of the mat, left heel into the left corner of your mat. If you need to put on any clothes or blankets, please do so. Finding your final resting pose, either with your hands on your body, elbows resting on the floor, or with your arms beside you, palms towards the ceiling or the sky. Gently rolling your head from side to side, once or twice. Just noticing, is there one side that feels easier to roll to? Not changing or fixing, just taking a note. And then find that sweet spot in the back of your head where you're going to stay. And take a final conscious in-breath through your nose into every happy and healthy cell of yourself. And breathe everything out that you don't need. Let it all go. Allow the breath to come and go. Release your face, the jaw, forehead. Allow the back of the head to be heavy. The whole self is melting into the ground beneath you. Nothing left to do, nothing left to be. Simply endeavor to exist in full relaxation. Begin to notice the space around you. Become aware of yourself in that space, your dimensions, your up and your down, your one side and the other side, and the front and the back. And slowly reawaken the body with tiny movements in your hands and wrists, feet and ankles. Allow the eyes to remain closed as you reach your arms overhead on the floor, finding your length. Reaching the toes back, away from you. And bind your knees when you're ready. Bring them gently into your chest. Holding on to the knees with your hands. Rolling from side to side gently. And then finding a side to roll all the way onto. And then from that side with the eyes still closed, push yourself up into a seat. Join your palms at heart center. Take your time, no rush, move slowly. Inhaling through the nose, joy and sunshine. Exhale through your open mouth, which you don't need. Inhaling through the nose, love and life. Out what you don't need. Let's seal the practice with a sweet om. Feel free to join. Inhale from. Bring it back to that intention that you said at the beginning. Visualize that, which you want to dedicate your practice to. And know that whoever you did dedicate it to received your flow and your energy and your goodwill. Bow your head to your fingertips. In appreciation and gratitude, we bow. The light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste.